What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. And let me start by saying if my voice sounds a little clogged and my nose is a little stuffy, I was a little sick over the weekend, so forgive me if it's not too articulate today. But in the beginning of this video, I just want to thank all the viewers and the subscribers, those who watch the little shorts, or if you watch the full videos. Thanks for taking time to even watch the video. Today in today's video though, I want to explore a topic that I was thinking about yesterday into today. It's about hypnotism. Now, I'm not talking about the type where they roll a little watch in your face and like you are getting sleepy. No, not that. I'm gonna talk about hypnotism, like how we get hypnotized on a day-to-day basis, what we can do to protect ourselves, and how we could actually effectively use our own hypnotic abilities. Um, Hypnotism is everywhere. A lot of people use it, some unconsciously, some consciously. The conscious ones are very dangerous. But all of us have hypnotic abilities about us. So some of us have more than the other. But to give an example, if you're a person where you're just very influential, right? You somehow people are drawn to you. It's because you have some hypnotic ability. Sometimes hypnotism comes under a negative term, but it's simply ability to charm, to make somebody feel comfortable around you, and to probably get a certain point across. So, but to show you how this works, I wanted to just use a personal experience, a personal story. There's this song by Whitney Houston. I'm sure most people know. I'm saving all my love for you, right? And as a child, that um with a bunch of other songs, my mom would always sing them, and they became a part of my childhood. To this day, they still are, because like when I'm having a rough time, a rough patch, I'll just listen to one of those songs my mom always used to sing, and they would give me comfort. But where I'm going with this story is, I remember when I was like, I think I was around 21 and I was having a rough year. I said, okay, you know what? Let me listen to this song for a little comfort, which I always did. So, as a 21-year-old, I put the song on, and for the first time, I'm enjoying the music. Do 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 do. I'm enjoying the intro music and everything. Then, for the first time, I'm really starting to understand the lyrics, and the lyrics, such beautiful soothing music, such an amazing vocalist. But the lyrics are literally talking about a woman who's in love with a man who's married. And the lyrics also suggest that they sleep together. The lyrics also suggest that she wants this man so bad that she doesn't want nobody else. She wants this married man who has his family. And it's very interesting how uh shame like a dirty situation, a shameful situation, with if you add the correct musical, the correct a good vocalist, the lyrics are placed a certain place. It's amazing how you can make a dirty situation sound so good. To a point where as a child it was soothing to me, even though I didn't even know what I was singing. And who really cares? Like, think about it. The song is so good. Who really cares that, oh my gosh, she was talking about sleeping with a married man? We don't really care, right? That's the power of hypnotism. And that's why it's so dangerous. And there are some people you're going to meet in this world, and this is why you have to be careful. They're very malevolent. I'm butchering that word, but they have wicked intentions with their hypnotic abilities. And there are some folks out here, they got honey in their tongue. They could make up something so nice and make and dress it up so nice with words, with their gestures, with bribes, with promises, and they could lure you in. And before you know it, you're part of something that you're like, oh my gosh, what happened here? Um, one great example of this is like, in my last, like I think maybe 2 videos ago, I talked about how somebody from a dysfunctional situation could try to manipulate or try to make somebody who came from a functional situation to feel bad about their function, their good functioning behaviors, or their good functioning life. And that is also another form of hypnotism. Once again, some people do this unconsciously, so we're not always aware of what we're doing, of our hypnotic abilities, but all of us use it, or and have used it at some point. Even toddlers use it. Toddlers know how to charm adults. They learn how to charm their parents. They actually able to know which parent is a little weaker, so they could charm that parent. So it's something embedded in us. So the question then becomes, with the the possibility of all of us being hypnotized at some point by music, by, could be by a teacher, it could be by a great influencer, which are big nowadays. Like, influencers are influencing the young people, and oh my gosh, the damage and the healing they could do is great, is immense. So the question is, how do you protect yourself? Well, you protect yourself when first, you have to boost your awareness. You have to really be a kind of a person, and this will not make you be well liked, but it'll bring peace in your life. You got to be the kind of person who thinks your own thoughts. You got to be the kind of person who is willing to ask the question. You got to be the person who has that sword of that sword of discernment to really see, like, okay, what's really going on here. Like, the same way, when I listen to the Whitney Houston song with a more mature mind, a more aware mind, I was able to peel off the nice sounding music and realize what really was being said. You must do this with things you even enjoy. There might be an influencer, an entertainer, you may enjoy them, but at some point you gotta peel off your enjoyment. You gotta peel off all the hypnotism that they put in front of you, and really listen to what they're saying. Listen to, really, not only listen, but watch, observe the message that they're showing. People don't just talk their message, they live it, they embody it. So peel off a person's their charm, peel it off, and really see it for what it really is. There are a lot of great literary pieces in music and in poems and all these kind of things, that they sound so good. Then when you unpack them, they have a very dark meaning. So to get rid of the hypnotic charm, basically you have to get the watch out of your face. Like how, like in hypnotism, like in the how to say, like in the entertainment version of it, they wag that watch in your face. The watch is a distraction to keep your to grab your attention, when the hypnotizer is actually doing something completely different. And this is what you must get out of your face. Get the watch out of your face. And you do this by boosting your awareness and just having that sword of discernment. Do not be afraid. You have to develop a fearlessness about you to ask questions and to think your own thoughts. One of the greatest things I read in a book one day is, any organization or any person who suggests that you stop thinking is of the devil. They're off negativity. They want to get you to, it means they want to get you to just comply. And that is never the a person who has great good intentions for you doesn't just want you to comply. Which brings me to my next point of part of this video. How can you actually use this your hypnotism in a proper way, in a good way? And it stems from that last point I just made. So to start off with an example, let's say you have a business and you're selling burgers. You dress your burger up nice, you put your sesame seeds in place, you make sure everything looks good, you keep your own self in fit too. You get a nice little spot, you keep it clean, you keep it you hire a couple workers. If okay, maybe no, forget the workers, it's just you right now, and you cleaned up your little spot, it looks really good. All those are part of your hypnotism. You're trying to attract somebody. You're trying to put something in somebody's face to make them come towards you. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way to use hypnotism in a good way is be honest about what you're selling. So when a customer comes and you tell a customer, hey, we we get our beef purely from the earth. We get it from, like, all of our cows are grass fed, and we have the most delicious tasting burgers. Don't just say that to attract somebody. Say it because it's true. So that when that customer actually takes a bite of your burger, they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best burger I ever tasted. And when your hypnotism is backed by truth, you don't even have to do any more work now, because now that customer is going to spread the word for you. You won't even have to manually be attracting people anymore, because now it's out there. Listen, this is a dark saying. It's a dark saying, but people actually like being seduced by what they like. That's just the truth. People may not want to admit that they like being seduced, because again, things like words like seduction and hypnotism have a negative twang to it. But the truth is, human beings, we like to be seduced by what we like. But where we get disappointed is when we get seduced by something that we like, and it had bad intentions for us, or it's not as good as what we wanted. So understand, when you're selling something, people want to be seduced. Like when they see a burger, they want to hear, oh, it's the best. They want to smell the great smell. They want to see a nice spot for them to come and eat. They want to see a nice outside bar if they want to sit outside and eat. They want all of that because their goal is the burger. It's just like, for another example, in relationships, we all want the person that we want to tell us, oh, how beautiful we are, or how good we're doing. We want that from them. We want to be seduced by the things we desire. So if your customer is desiring their burger, they want to be seduced by it, but also they want to know it's true. They want to actually come and have a good experience. And when you're able to use your hypnotism and fuse it with truth, and it all comes from being who you really are. Your hypnotism, your attraction, your everything, but it's fueled by truth. This is who you really are. The effect and the potency is going to be so much better. It's going to be so much bigger, because most people are accustomed to being attracted and disappointed. Almost every appearance is always promising us something, and most of us are so accustomed to being attracted to something and being disappointed. When you could be attractive, or you're selling something attractive, and you don't disappoint, could you imagine what that's going to do to people? Once again, you won't even have to use so many hypnotic powers yourself anymore. You will literally create disciples. People will be want to say, hey, it's over there. That's where the light is. That's where the stuff is. That's where the best burger is. What I'm saying? You won't have to do anything anymore. And you know your work becomes less and less and less. When you use hypnotism deceptively, you'll always need to be working. Why? You'll always need to get a new hustle. You'll always need to get a new sucker. You'll always need to be always getting a new form, a new change and everything. So you're always constantly working, and it's a very tiring way to live. It's also a very dishonest way to live as well. You know, Lying to people, hypnotizing people, seducing people for the wrong reasons for your own personal gains is just not a very moral thing to do. You understand? And in the long run, it'll eventually come to bite you in the end. So, in this video, just take these things away from hypnotism. First, be aware of it. It's happening. It's happening. We've all fall victim to it. Learn how to disarm it. Use your soul, use that soul of discernment. Develop critical thinking skills for your own self, and remove that watch from that hypnotizer's hand, and see what he's really saying, see what's really going on. And the last thing, mix fuse your own hypnotic powers with truth, and embody who you really are, and from there, that be a hypnotizing power, like who you really are, who you've really built yourself to be, the brand you've really built. Let that be your attractive power, and see how that works for you. So once again, thanks for all the viewers to these videos, and thanks for the 5 subscribers that I have. And let me know what you think about this video and any other video that I may have posted.